Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Frickin' Tony.
Frickin'
Tony.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Helpdesk.
And take
Tony, Tony, you have one job. Oh, actually, you have a few jobs.
Are you
One,
kidding
you
me?
host. You do a
One
good job.
job?
You do a good job of that.
One
cup.
job?
We care about one job.
You
that
mute
do.
and boot. That's important. But really, the most important job is pressing the record button. Really?
Well,
Just
be
press record.
happy that I realized it earlier than later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
If
might
we
have
were
been
in
a
the
bye-
in-between, you realize that I've been so angry.
We would have just
Could
had
you
a bye
imagine?
week. We would have just had a bye week on the help desk.
Seriously. Sorry, guys. No help desk. Disappeared in the ether.
Yeah, Tony's computer broke.
All right. This is the help desk where we talk about tech gadgets and science-related things. Let's go ahead and introduce our panelists. Let's kick it off with our West Coast consultant, Mr. Lang.
West Coast for the most. On the left coast, playing with Lando's muff.
Is
So,
that what you're doing?
yeah.
I
So,
thought that's what he was doing, but I wasn't sure. Leave
what's
his
up?
muff
I'm
alone.
Lang. Come find me on Discord. Instagram, it's just wonderful chaos, and I need to step away from there. Come find me on Discord. I lurk around in Geekshow, in the Gadget Spot, and a number of other servers, so just come find me there. I like responding. And if you're lucky enough, you can catch the migrations of the special Lando every 6 months.
I'm there right now.
He's in there right now. He
comes
Lando.
around.
Boom.
Hey, it's Lando. I'm happy.
He's barely. You guys.
He's barely hanging
Lando.
on with his
Lando
fingernails.
is barely functional right now. Lando is
Let's
living.
let's fondle
he's like
that
a-
muff right here.
Yeah,
Just
I can't. I don't know how to do that. Okay.
Can't reach it. Can't reach it
yeah,
over there.
move your
I
muff
can
so
help you.
teammates
Here
can
we go.
grab your muff, Lando.
Yeah, I just grab it right.
Have
by
a
the
feel,
muff.
Tony. It's
there we
great.
go.
I'm gonna grab it
Oh,
by
there
the
it
muff.
is. Yep, that's pretty nice. That's soft.
Yeah,
You
you
should
just
watch it on
grab.
YouTube. If you're not watching YouTube, it's
That's
a good place
really
to watch us.
hairy, Lando.
Surprisingly soft, actually.
It is.
I'm impressed. All right, don't forget about Owen.
Hey, that's me. I'm not going to drag us into book talk again, like in round one,
Thank
where I talk
goodness.
about changing my gamer tag. But you can come friend me on Halo on Xbox. Halo is what I
The
call
Halo
it,
game player.
because that's all I do on there.
I sent you an invite and you ran away.
I'm there.
That tracks.
I accepted. Your internet went down.
Whatever.
I checked.
That
So
that could be true. That could be
Yeah.
true.
prove me wrong. Anyway,
Who's great
yeah.
at proving wrong? Our host.
Our host is, and his name's Tony.
I take great pride sometimes, and depending on who I am
He does.
proving wrong,
Like if it's Jaren, like you kind of have to,
well,
right?
yeah. And then sometimes I get proven wrong, and I have to pretend like it doesn't bother me, even though it
Whoa!
really does.
When have you been proven wrong, Tony? You're
We're
too.
not going to talk. We don't need to worry about it.
I
Let's
don't.
just keep going.
I'm going to
No,
ask that in the in between. I'm going to ask that in between because I need to know a time when Tony was proven wrong. I only want answer one question. Is it usually your wife that does it?
Well, it should be.
Sometimes.
me.
Yeah.
Really?
sometimes,
Like the
yeah.
majority? Like if you count it out of 10 times, you've been proven wrong?
Oh, yeah. I'd say it's 9 out of 10 times for me.
Yeah, for my
No.
wife. For my wife. Is it usually Jaren? Because he is so. Yeah, I don't know what the word is. Dickish?
Stabby. He likes to stab you with that knife.
Anyway.
It just doesn't happen often enough for me to really
Okay.
keep track.
So you can't. Okay. So what you're saying is you can't come up with 10 times. Okay,
yeah,
Tony.
10 times? I don't
Okay,
know. I can think of
okay.
3.
Sorry.
but,
I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Do we have any emails?
Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or on other Geek Show podcasts. All right, we do have an email.
Oh, good.
Oh, I can pay attention
Really?
this time.
Here you go, Lando. This is your chance because this was actually quite an interesting email. It's from Vaughn. It says, "Hey, Geek Show Help Desk. This is Vaughn, and a few weeks ago, you guys were talking about the exploding pagers and
remember this
supply
part.
chain manipulation. The NSA has been doing this for years. Back in 2013, there was a leak of classified documents, and one of the most interesting ones was a leak of the NSA's classified spycraft product catalog called the Ant Catalog. The Electronic Frontier Foundation has a link to the PDF, and that was published by a German magazine, Der Spiegel. Everything in it was for sale and included a POC to place orders.
For sale from the CIA.
Apparently.
I thought.
CIA
See,
Etsy.
so I thought. Yeah, I thought. So they must have like a Etsy shop. Only
I mean,
kidding.
the-
CIA.
I stole your joke, and it
Yeah.
was not as funny.
No, so here's my question. You're saying that it was for sale by them. They didn't make the catalog and it got stolen because
No, I bet it was something like, "Hey, make your check out to Carl and
Yeah.
Irene and Associates." Oh,
Yeah.
just abbreviate it, CIA.
Yeah.
Make the check out to CIA.
You
I
can
would-
put our initials.
Yeah.
I would bet too that America sells weapons and stuff to
Absolutely.
all kinds of allies.
What?
And things like that.
But if they sell that
So-
spycraft, how are they? I mean,
No,
typically,
come on. Let's
if they're
be-
selling spycraft, it's their B stock, right?
I was going to say, let's
like-
think about this for a second. This
Yeah.
isn't the really good stuff. This is
Yeah.
the stuff they've decided. Okay, we'll let them have this.
Okay,
too.
so I want to
They
hear the
they wanna
stuff
borrow
then.
this.
I want to hear the stuff then because I want to see what their B stock is.
Yeah, so it says everything. Oh, let's see. He also puts a link to the Wikipedia page in case you don't want to download the
Ooh,
PDF.
throw that in the chat.
Some of the mind-blowing highlights are covered under these code names. He's got some highlights here. Cottonmouth series, a family of modified USB and Ethernet connectors that can be used to install Trojan horse software and work as wireless bridges, providing covert remote access to the target machine. Cottonmouth I is a USB plugin that uses Trinity as digital core and Howler Monkey as RF transceivers.
I've never heard of either of those.
Just had to be named Cottonmouth. I was like, nope.
And we got Dropout Jeep, a software implant for the Apple iPhone that utilizes modular mission applications to provide specific Signet functionality. This functionality includes the ability to remotely push-pull files from the device, SMS retrieval, contact list retrieval, voicemail, geolocation, hot mic, camera capture, cell phone tower location, etc.
How does Apple get away with that? How does those guys saying that they're the safest of the safest safe?
Well, I'm
Don't
sure.
think about
I'm
that
sure
too
what
much.
it is they catch it in or they tell Apple, which ones are going to these countries, and Apple's like,
Well, it
this
pulls
is the batch
it
that's
pulls-
going to China.
It pulls contacts though. It said that's actual internal polls like file transfer,
Oh, yeah.
SMS recovery, like
Hot
you
mic,
gotta-
yeah.
Yeah.
Says command, control, and data exfiltration can occur over SMS messaging or a GPRS data connection. All communications with the implant will be covert and encrypted. Or Apple might not even know, and they just capture this stuff and drop it in there before it gets shipped to another country. Laying all right? I mean,
No, I'm
Lando,
wondering,
you all
Landon,
right
are you
over there?
okay?
I'm good now.
Not okay.
He's
I am not
hyperventilating.
okay.
So I have a question on it. Does it? I haven't looked it up yet. Well, I should just look it up. Are there photos of these items that they were selling?
Maybe on the
Okay, yeah,
Wikipedia.
yeah. Send that Wikipedia link into the
Because
chat.
I'm actually curious, like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
because this was back in 2013, right?
Yeah, it was 2013 when it was leaked, but the catalog listings or whatever were from 2008.
Oh, geez.
Man,
So it's been
if this is their- if-
16 years? 16
This is-
years. I want to imagine some, like, props guy, like, oh, guys, this is actually going to work for real. And, like, I want to know what movies, like, we, like, studied spycraft, and this is what it would actually, how it would work.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I
there's a
imagine
lot of
somebody
Spycraft,
thought that up.
It goes
Spycraft
both
in the movies
ways.
is not nearly as good because all this spycraft actually works and it's quiet. That's not how movies are.
Yeah.
Like movies are like it needs to be.
Ba, ba, ba,
I don't know.
ba,
Yeah.
ba, ba.
Well,
Like if
and
this is their B stock, this is terrifying.
the thing about it too is it's
These are expensive.
you get a whole lot of art imitating reality and reality imitating art in situations like this. Stuff that might have been inspired by movies, and then when stuff gets leaked that hasn't been already thought of for movies, they put it into movies. So,
Right.
Nuts. Nuts.
Yep.
Sometimes
So-
I bet there's some espionage. What do they call that? When they're using social engineering, but it's propaganda. Thank you. The word came to my brain. I bet there's some propaganda that I bet they leak some stuff to people in the art and film industry so that
Maybe.
some of it will get out just to terrify our.
Oh, I say
Our
it would be the
political-
opposite. If they got it out and they saw it in a movie, they're like, "Oh, that's just a movie prop. That won't scare us."
There was a rumor going around on the Twitters that when the new Top Gun came out and they had that X-11 jet that could go whatever.
Do a 180.
Yeah, or the jet that he flies at the very opening scene that goes like
Oh, the prototype.
the prototype.
Oh, Nighthawk or what? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
The really fast one.
There's a rumor going around the internets on the TikToks, the Reddits, and the Twitters that was saying that China was actually really concerned. They had to go like try and find out if it was an actual thing.
Do they
Guys,
have
go
this?
go blow up the balloon. We gotta go find it.
They don't have this, right? Yeah, get the helium, but cut it because we're running out. We're gonna have to cut it with some other. I don't know if it's chemistry
So-
enough to finish that joke.
Quick, go get the helium. You already got it out.
Yeah, go get the helium.
So there was a couple.
Lando,
other
that
ones-
was funny. Smile.
There was a couple other ones that he put on here that were
Navi podcasting.
that were really interesting. This one's called Rage Master. It fits right in with Lando right now.
Some Tom.
A device hidden inside a ferrule on a VGA cable to a PC monitor. It tapped into the red signal feed and turns on when activated by a specific radar frequency. When it turns on, it transmits the red colored signal via short-range VF to someone so they can see what you're looking at on the monitor.
So
Like
once display ports and HDMI came into circulation, they're like, well,
either they upgraded it
let's
or
sell it. Let's sell this to South Korea.
So that's the thing. Yeah, VGA is an analog
yeah,
signal, whereas with the digital ones, you couldn't do it that way.
Right.
It's a digital signal. You have to
You
find
need the
a different way to do
analogs.
it. Yep. So anyway, very interesting stuff. Thanks for writing in, Vaughn. Pretty.
go check out the link in the show notes. Like Lando
Thanks
says,
for
they're
keeping the
expensive.
writing going, bud.
Yep. So you want me to put the link in the show notes? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, it's not in the. I thought you put it in the show notes. Oh no, he put it as an email. Haha. Okay. Cool.
I'll just put CIA goodies. Is what it's called in
For
the
sale.
Yeah.
in the show notes.
CIA Etsy.
Spirit
All right.
CIA.
Yeah. Spirit CIA. It's
Wish.
the-
CIA
everything must
wish.
go. Yeah. Wish. The wish CIA.
No, really, take it. We can't be caught with it.
Yeah. It's no seriously.
Puppet
So-
This is Timu.
All right. Let's see. Real quick, I just wanted to hit on
Let's
in-
see if we can make it real quick.
Intel's CPUs that they announced or they released the last couple weeks, and they are pretty meh.
How do you say it, Lando? Big numbers go faster?
Big numbers go faster, yo.
And that's the
But
problem.
not with
is
Intel.
It doesn't really happen this time. They do have some productivity stuff that works better than the previous gen, than the 14th gen. But these new i7 and i9s, it's like the 285 and the 275, they've been tested and benchmarked. And Intel said before they released them, they did say that this is a rebuild generation. And so it's all about power savings and power efficiency, and it shows. Their numbers are slightly better in the productivity stuff, but there is an improvement. However, there was noted quite a bit of quite a few gaming titles that regressed in their performance.
Like lost performance.
Lost
Ugh.
performance compared to the 14th gen.
Any big ones? Like people are in a really big communities that might be pissed off?
There wasn't any big losses, but anywhere from like 5 to 10% in some of the games.
But not Halo, right?
No. But you do an AMD anyway, so you don't.
I
care.
have AMD anyway.
Yeah,
I just wanted
but-
to bring that out for any of my Halo players that only have a PC gaming rig to play Halo like me.
Yeah, so there you go. It's kind of poopy, and I don't know what they were thinking releasing it like this. Hopefully, they can patch it up with some microcode, make it a little more, more useful on the gaming side. But if you're buying gaming, building a gaming rig or buying a gaming PC this go around, save your money. Go with a 14th gen, a 12th gen, or a 13th gen Intel CPU,
Switch to AMD.
or switch to AMD. Exactly. So
They're getting really good at making. They're really good at troubleshooting microcode recently.
well,
So-
they've had to spend the last 6 months trying to figure out why
Yeah.
the
So
13th
they've
and
had
14th
a real
gen keeps
they've
melting
had
down.
they've had a good refresher on their own code. So
Yep. So hopefully they can apply that. Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's talk about mRNA.
Hey, that's me.
That's you.
So I started telling the story last time, but I'm going to tell it again because we're living in deja vu land. So about a month ago, on the 16th of October, was my wedding anniversary. That's the day my wife and I got married. 16 years ago, Tony.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
16 years?
16. It's a while.
Wow.
You've been married for 16 years?
Yeah, that's what I said.
How old are your kids?
10 and 6.
That's why I was confused. I was
16.
like, oh, they
Huh. Wow.
waited a while. Good for you.
We did wait a
guys.
while. It was great. I recommend it to everyone. Anyhow, my wife is a night nurse at the hospital. She works on the 5th floor in Provo, the cardiac floor. She's a cardiac charge nurse. And so this wedding anniversary, she had to work. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to take it off, and so I surprised her by taking her dinner. And so we were eating dinner in her conference room. I promise this ties in. And so I was sitting in their 5th floor conference room, looking at their posters on their wall. They had a whole bunch of goals and things, and they're trying to make things better for everyone, blah blah blah. But they had one specific poster where it's like X number of days since we had a case of like 5 different diseases. One of those diseases was C. diff.
What
There's
the
a word
heck
for
is
that.
C. diff?
C. diff
I was
stands
gonna say,
for
I was blanking on that the last time too.
Clostridioides.
Come
I
on,
can't-
Nailed it.
Who
Clostridiodite.
knows? It's C. diff.
Diodes. See, it's called C. That's why they just do the first initial, right? Because nobody was claustrophobic. There's C. diff.
Yeah, so one of the things C. diff is known for is it's a bacteria that's known for causing severe gut infections, and it often presents as puking and diarrhea, and it's bad freaking news.
Okay.
So we're talking about, my wife and I were talking about this night, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm so pissed. We had like a 4-year streak, and then recently, like about a month ago, it broke, and we actually caught one because." And she's like, "The other 4 didn't count it, and they turfed the patient to us, so it was our bad, not theirs." And no, she's mad. Anyway,
It's like fumbling a football, except a human life.
pretty much. So C. diff is one of those things that it's a big freaking deal, especially in hospitals, because it can spread really, really
Comparison.
easily, and it has really bad outcomes for patients, especially like post-surgery type patients. Bad news bears.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is just, I cannot overstate just how cool I think the new mRNA vaccine technology is, because they're using it for all kinds of stuff. Like, it's a freaking cool thing. So the latest news, in this, according to this article, is they are now using mRNA technology to help fight and prevent C. diff, which is a big freaking deal. So they've done some trials. It's provided in mice, so not humans yet, but long-lasting protection against primary and recurrent forms of C. diff infection, which is a good sign. So hopefully, we can see this stuff come to humans at some point and make the world a better place. That is all.
C. diff is crazy because most people carry C. diff in some form, but competition in your gut keeps it down, right?
Right.
But usually you get a really bad infection of C. diff because you have surgery, like you're saying, and then they give you an antibiotic to make sure your stitches and your sutures don't like get infected. And when you do that, of course, it nukes your gut,
your gut biome.
your gut biome,
Yeah.
and C. diff is slightly more resistant to antibiotics than other guts and other gut bacteria, and so then you end up getting a bloom of it, and it will cause colitis, which that's a long that's something you have to deal with for a long time, bleeding and all sorts of so that's really cool. I think people in the future are going to look back at us caring about how mRNA vaccines were created and how crazy it was, and all the crazy things people said about the COVID vaccine, and be like, how has our species survived, right? Like, they're gonna,
You're
know?
assuming they're going to survive long enough to
Oh,
look
it's true.
back.
True. We might not get past a couple days. Who knows? Who knows? At least a big portion of the world. But
Anyway,
Yep.
cool stuff.
Interesting. Cool stuff.
Early stages, but just another example of cool technology affecting our everyday lives,
Yep.
or at least will, or could, maybe, hopefully. There's of course
Speaking-
no guarantee, but it could happen.
Speaking of medical testing on animals, Lang has
Lang.
a story.
What?
Lang has a story related to that.
I do. Speaking of mice, so I found this because I like bringing something about my daily job, which is lab animals. I'm going to be out of the job. So there's a
Sad
company, yeah, very sad face. There's a company who kind of a peak what I have to do in my job as a laboratory animal technician. We have to check each animal within our facility at least once a day, depending on the studies and depending on whether they're USDA or non-USDA. This company has now made a monitoring AI system that monitors the animals for you, which means no need for the people to monitor it.
Oh,
Which
What is monitoring? What does that entail? What do you have to take their temperature?
that's a
See
great
if
question,
they're-
Owen.
See if their hair is falling out or their skin goes
Yes.
clear. Like
Yes.
you're
all
like,
of
those
okay,
things.
All
okay,
those
so
things.
Like, this
So-
experiment was to make it into an X-Man, and no, did
when
not
you
work.
guys
Okay.
when you guys come play pinball with me, which I'm going back on the 16th,
nice.
come out here, or even if I go out there, I have places where I could show you. Imagine going into a research facility and they have cages of mice that are about the size of a shoebox, and that has rodent chow, access to water, nice bedding, and the room temperatures are kept all at the same temperatures. My job is to check, is there any
Science.
abnormalities? Do they have feed? Do they have water? Are they healthy? Are all the scientists not being mad scientists? Then great. Move
Oh, really?
on to the next ones.
You really do? You kind of vet them, be like, hey, this guy's trying to create the
Yeah.
bubonic plague.
Well, I'd catch them before that. No, if they have to stay within their study parameters. If they don't, it's like, hey, you know you're doing that illegally, right? I'm
We're
going to shut
splicing
you
in-
down.
We're splicing in
Right.
some human
I am a
DNA
glorified
here.
hall monitor for people not to go
Ooh.
mad scientists.
Well, there you go. AI is non-ethical, right? So you still got a job. You got to tell the AI.
Well, I
to-
manage 20 people that do the checking. So on my campus we have over 12,000 cages of rodents.
Holy
so
moly.
That's a lot of rodents.
it's a lot of rodents. So a whole lot of mouse crap on a daily basis.
So
What do you do
but
with all the
you
mouse
have to
crap?
you manage people that clean out those cages. Is that what you're telling me, Lang?
I'm
Or
part
you
of it.
do
Yeah,
that?
I do some of that.
Do.
Oh.
So
Right.
you're hold on. I want to take a minute here to pause. So you're
Go for
telling
it.
me that part of your job is cleaning up mice crap.
Yeah.
And that,
Crazy.
that
What a
there's
job.
so much that it.
But
could
okay, but here
literally
let me
equal
put this in
metric
let me
tons
put this in
of mouse crap.
perspective. No, that's a lot more mice. That they don't take that big like
12,000 mice.
Yeah, they're like little
Have you
rice.
seen mice poo?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Like
it's
like,
it's
give me
not
a-
like
give me a
Jurassic
week-
Park, Owen.
But it's the
that's a big
scale.
pile of crap. Give
It's
me,
not a
I know, that's what I'm saying.
triceratops.
Here's what I'm asking. Okay, give me a week's worth of poop in weight, human in freedom units, if you don't mind.
In freedom units.
Wait, a week's worth of a mouse amount?
No, you're all 12,000 of your mice. Yeah,
You really
my
gonna
guy.
make me picture this?
This is what we're talking about. The scale.
No,
that Lando was just
no,
saying.
not that much. Not
Maybe-
not as what
okay.
you're thinking.
What
of
do
it.
you think? Maybe like
You know what?
Okay,
Time
maybe
out.
like
Let's
50
change
pounds?
Owen's perspective. Owen, turn around and clean out the kitty litter. You're getting influenced right now.
That's way too far away. Like that's got to be 15 feet.
So back
You know,
up, back up,
cat
back up, back
Smells
up.
bad.
Let me
Cat
back
turds
up on
are a
this.
lot bigger than mouse turds.
Yeah.
Owen.
Okay.
So
yeah,
what
but
I do?
12,000 mice. I mean, that's
I'm
going
gonna-
to
No,
amount
no,
to
no,
some
no.
amount.
Oh, Lando,
It
that's
does,
12,000
for sure.
cages of mice. So there's anywhere between.
More mice in there? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's more than
I
one
need a
mouse per
mouse. I need a
cage.
mouse. I need a mouse count.
So hold on. I
Like, give
think
me an
you're-
average. 3 mice per cage?
We're
I'm
really
doing some
focused on
quick
the
Google
poop.
math.
here, but
Anywhere
this is
between
important.
1 to like 5, and then
Okay,
litters.
I'm gonna say
and
3.
all
I'm gonna
that.
say 3.5.
No, but
Right,
let me take a step back. Let
Right,
me take a step back real
2.5.
quick. But let me throw this
some
statistic in it, because these mice are all used for research, and a lot of that research is genetics. So think about this. One of the most expensive mice that I've seen exchanged between universities was actually from Germany. One of them cost 80 grand just for one mouse.
For a mouse?
Mouse.
Whoa.
What kind
Gold
of mouse
plat-
was it?
Platinum injected.
Transgenic.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
So
say,
if you think about
I know
all
what
these-
that means, but it sounds expensive.
Now you know what I feel like with CPUs.
Transgenic, like across the ocean?
Yes.
Like
That's
Trans-
transatlantic.
Transoceanic.
What did I
It's
say?
expensive.
You know, translated, transmorphic.
So back up
Like
the
a
whole
madam-
thing. This like that's why these mice are actually very important. I have a crew of 20 technicians on a daily basis. We have to check each of these mice, but this company is putting forth an AI that's going to replace all the technicians that we don't have to check on a daily basis, which is great and
Who's gonna
terrible
clean
if
the
it
poop?
ruins my job
It's
security.
okay. It's okay.
Someone AI
they still
can't clean
need
the poop, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
so
they have
those people
robots
we
for
say-
that.
They don't need manager. AI.
Those
is
are
the
down. Those are
manager.
down by you, Lando, at a university that shall not be named by me. So
Is it blue?
yeah, it's blue.
Yeah, let's not talk about that one. That one's gross.
That one is very gross. But they do have. They actually have robot cleaners
Robot
for
poop
their
cleaners?
cages. Yeah, nice.
So I'll
That-
get back to the poop here
that's
for a
too
second,
big of a
Lane. So
rat.
you have 12,000 cages of mice.
So
How much
that's-
do you think that poop weighs?
This
Hold
is
on,
what
hold
it
on.
takes
I've
to get you to pay
I've
attention to the podcast.
Here we go. Here we
Poop
are.
talk. Poop talk.
But just
So-
throw out a number, right? If you
9,000.
mouse
Here it is.
poops
Here it is.
a
They say
gram
a
of
mouse.
poop-
I already googled it. A mouse can poop 0.25 to 1 gram per day. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So,
I'm saying he
multiply
said
by
there's
12,000?
No, 12,000 cages with up to 5 mice in each.
Say it.
I'm saying
But some
3.
have less. So
Keep
yeah,
going,
doing
keep
it
going,
average
keep
three.
going.
I did 3.
Average of
So I
three.
did 3. So I did 3. And
Yeah.
then so we're looking at 9,000 grams. Now I just got to ask Google
9 pounds.
how many. Wait, what?
That's 9
it-
kilos.
That's
Is
not
a-
how freedom units work.
No, that wouldn't be. That would be 18 pounds then, if it's a kilo.
I know. But I'm still something. I know it is, but it's like you're not. You're
it's
making it
20
way.
it's
dude. Stop watching Jurassic
19.84.
Park.
It's
It's not- it's
19.84
not even-
pounds. What do you do with 20 pounds of mouse crap every week?
You
Oh, every
that's-
day.
oh,
That's
every
every day.
day.
That's every
yeah,
day.
That's
Hold on.
That's this much garbage. Done.
Hold on.
That's
Hold
not
on.
20
Hold on.
pounds. That would be
I'm
some
gonna-
really dense poop.
That's
Yeah, I'm
super
gonna-
dense.
Okay.
Here we go. 20 times
Garbage.
7. 140 pounds of mouse
Okay,
poop
but-
a week.
Okay, but let's be real. We also have sheep,
My mind.
pigs,
Don't forget about the other-
finches.
yep.
What do
guinea
you guys
pigs.
do with it? Do you guys compost it? Do you sell it? It's got medical
are in Oregon.
forever chemicals in there. You can't be like, oh yeah, this was some
It
experiment.
depends. It's a whole dude. Owen, you come crash on my
You're blowing
couch.
my-
I will take
you're-
you on
yeah,
a tour.
you're
I
blowing-
will
you're
take you on
blowing
a
my-
tour.
You're blowing my mind right
Come
now.
visit your
Like,
family out
this
here.
is
We'll play
poop.
pinball
This
and play
isn't-
poop.
Yeah, this isn't a tech podcast anymore. This is about poop measurements.
This
Yeah.
is a poop
This-
podcast.
This is
Geek
a
Show Poopcast.
poopcast right here. Tony's got the fart noise. We need a sheep noise and a pig noise for effect, ambiance. Like
Join our
Oh.
poopy Patreon.
I was this close to putting a goat scream on my soundboard
Yeah.
the other day.
Oh, you
I
should
should
have.
have done
You
it.
missed
Dang
it.
it.
Gosh, I hate
God,
goats.
what a wasted.
Goats
So
and
the
snakes.
so the
opportunity.
AI would have to fundamentally change all your infrastructure though, and make it so that you could have monitored cages, right? Because they'd have to
Yeah.
be in something.
That would be an upfront
Yeah,
investment.
you're
but-
years,
yeah.
you're
There's
years off
some-
from that, buddy. And plus, there's a
no.
bunch of cheapskates that aren't
No.
going to pay for it.
Yes. That one.
No,
yes.
no, yes, that's the reason.
That's the,
That's a bingo
that is
in
the
my
big
book.
reason. Yep. It depends on the different type because there's different types of industries. I'm in academia, where they do pinch the pennies depending on the grants. There's also the Department of Defense, for example.
They do
There's
not pinch the
commercial
pennies.
folks, big pharma. And so if you think about it, if they're
Big
thinking,
pharma.
yeah, if a commercial Pfizer is gonna like say, oh, should we pay like 50 grand for a technician for a year or pay the 50 grand once for a brand new system to cover 10,000 cages, it's going to be obvious for them. So I'm scared. I'm
It's
scared.
okay. They'll always need poop picker uppers though. So if management doesn't work out, you can always just roll downhill like the turds you collect.
Jeezy Pete's.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Wow.
That
Were you-
That just
You
that
were,
just
were you? I can see
that
that,
just-
putting
that
together
just-
in your head a little bit.
that just rolled off my tongue.
Ooh, it flowed.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Lando,
Yeah.
two deep breaths.
You beat me to it. I was about to. USA.
All
USA.
right,
Look at
let's
the screen,
move it
Lando. Look at the screen.
Let's
There you
move it
go.
along. I wanted to talk about this story the other day, and we lost time. Just if your Apple iPhone falls into a giant crack between two boulders, just let it go.
Let
Because
it go?
man,
Oh,
it's
no.
Homer?
gone.
It's gone, Homer. Homer, it's gone.
A 23-year-old woman was stuck upside down for 7 hours in a rock crevice after she tried to.
How
retrieve
many
her
hours
dropped
did you
iPhone.
say?
7.
But did she get her phone?
No.
Ah,
After
all
all
of
of that, she didn't even get her phone back. So she was taking some pictures on her iPhone in New South Wales, Hunter Valley. I think that's Australia. And her phone slipped out of her hands and fell down into a crack that's about, from the picture, it looks like it's about 10 inches wide.
Listen,
And it's between two big slabs of rock.
like if this isn't an advertisement to have kids, so you send your kids down there. They could have got my prototypes would have fished that out for me. Post haste.
You wouldn't have been able to get him back
Post-haste.
up.
This is like
I
a
would've. She was-
prequel to.
You look at the picture, she was all the way in there. Like, not
see-
feet dangling out the top. I'm
Like,
talking
just-
feet down. Like
Oh,
feet,
so she like
feet, the top of her feet,
Her face is in
completely
the
upside
gravel.
down. Completely upside down. The top of her feet were 4 feet below eye level in the crack.
so she's not like comically
No.
stuck
She's
upside
like,
down.
She's like in a
Like
situation.
lucky founder type of situation.
She fell 3 meters into the opening.
That's 9 feet. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I would have sent my prototypes down there for sure, though. Just feet first with a rope or like a bed sheet.
yeah.
Go get my phone. You, my
So-
new my
And
production.
it said
line,
it was
I
her
would've never sent
iPhone,
down there.
right?
Yeah, it said it was her iPhone.
Like,
It.
don't they like? Well, yep, it's gone.
Just go get Apple Care real quick.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, hopefully
it's gonna
who
be
knows
worth
if
more
she
than
was
your
backing up
hospital
her-
bill and embarrassment.
Hopefully, she was backing up her pictures. You know, everyone's got to have their pictures backed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took about 7 hours to get her out, and they had to do like brace the boulders and stuff to try and push them
So
out of the
the-
way and keep them up so that when they're
didn't
getting in
collapse
there,
on her?
it doesn't collapse on her. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Like we got her. Oh boy.
Now, now for yeah. Uh oh. You hear. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Oh.
Lando, that was funny.
We got 75% of her.
For-
we got 75 out.
Oh,
Now, for some context, this isn't funny context. This is more like interesting context.
challenge accepted.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
come on.
it's
Hold my-
if you want to go down the dark humor,
No.
Yes.
dark humor rabbit hole, Nutty Putty Cave
Oh
in
no.
Utah.
Yeah, they closed that.
They
that's a
sealed
tomb
it
now.
off.
Which one is
What?
this
That-
one?
I still have nightmares about that. Like,
Did you
what
go
a-
into
what a
Nutty
way-
Putty?
Yeah,
went
I've
in-
been there.
I've
They
been
showed
in. I've
there
been
was a
in Nutty
document.
Putty.
There was a
No.
documentary about it
What a way
years
to
later
go.
that showed kind of
Hey.
how it all happened.
Left Coast doesn't remember his childhood. Remind me.
Oh, yeah,
Nutty Putty.
Nutty Putty is a
it's-
cave that had some it was muddy, but it
So-
had some very narrow sections.
It was
No, where?
It's just in the middle of. I want to say it's only about an hour away from Salt Lake. It's not very
Yeah.
far.
Mm-mm.
But it was a very common spot for spelunking, especially for like high school kids and things like that. And they had some really narrow passageways. One of them was called the Birth Canal, and that was one of the more
This gives
accessible.
me the heebie-jeebies. I hate this.
That was one of the more accessible narrow ones. A fellow went in there at I think a couple of folks, and one of them went way in there, got stuck upside down,
Nope.
and
That's
they were never
insane.
able to get him out, and he died.
Yeah, closed the cave for it.
Yep, and that
They
was
sealed it up. Yep.
It was at that point they sealed it up.
November 24th of 2009.
Crazy.
28 hours.
Yep.
It was long. Yeah, it was long and drawn out.
So that's why it's funny that this
How
lady.
long ago did that happen?
2009. I just said it.
09. It's been.
Who's
it's
not
been a
listening
minute.
now, Lang?
It's been
I
a
swear you
minute.
almost said Lando.
But that's why we joke about this Australian woman,
Just let it go, man.
but it's because she made it out alive. It's funny,
Yeah.
but if she had not made it out alive, less.
We
funny.
probably wouldn't have talked about it.
So, but yeah, like the Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy, the one that goes, if your keys ever fall into a river of molten lava, let them go, because man, they're gone. The same rule applies to
Yeah.
iPhones and big cracks. Just let it go.
Just let it
Let
go.
it go, man. Somebody will find it and be like, "Wow, 20 years in the future.
What is
Yeah,
this?
100 years in the future."
iPhone. All right, let's talk about space power. This is really interesting.
Hey, I like this one. I had this on my notes last week, and I almost did it as a lightning round, but decided to pass because I wanted to talk about using satellites to beam power back to Earth. So we have solar panels here in the round blue marble.
Yep.
And a problem is it's spinning. And every 12 hours or 16 hours, it spins away from the sun and goes dark, right? You could solve this problem by going and putting your satellite up in space and just having it point always at the sun, always forever, gathering way more power.
Sure.
There's a company that has decided to do this on a small scale. So they are only launching it into low Earth orbits. So it still falls prey to the same issues of the orbit. It loses sight of the sun, every once in a while. But they're doing it to try and test the theory that they can send microwave power down to, I don't know what Lando's doing.
I'm trying to poke.
He's trying to poke
Lang.
my head.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to shut up.
No.
You're just so used to it.
Yeah, I'm just so used to like the top right corner of the podcast is usually telling me to shut up, and it's Lando instead of Jaren this time. So
No. You
No,
keep
Lando's
talking, Owen.
thinking I'm doing something else. I'm listening. I'm just fidgeting
Oh,
with something.
No,
We're
remember
good.
your ramble noise is this.
oh, that's right, that's right. I didn't
it's
get
not the WWE ring bell.
I still need to adjust that one. It's got too much of a lead time.
yes. Oh, right. I can always hear it come and be like, no. Dodge the shepherd's hook on stage. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. The guy that started this, ever guys heard of a trading platform called Robinhood?
I have
Yep.
indeed.
This is the guy that he was the co-CEO of the company until 2020. But he wanted to get out of that, and he is now working on this power program to send microwaves, obviously. So it collects solar energy, sends the microwaves down to Earth to a station wherein it heats water or does something with the thing, and that's how it creates this basically unlimited energy from solar power that never has to shut off. And so he's getting it up into low Earth orbit to do a proof of concept, but kind of seeing continued solar energy exploration and seeing it go into space where it could run 24/7. Like that's the benefit of a coal power plant or a hydro plant. They run 24/7,
no matter
rain or
what.
shine.
Yep.
You put the one
Nuclear,
side gets
same thing.
yeah, same thing, right? So that's why solar still hasn't really gotten all of the respect. You have to scale solar so much higher and use so much more like surface area to reach the same power generation.
There's plenty of surface area. I don't think that's an issue, especially if we started putting solar on top of like city
Right.
buildings and stuff like that.
All
But it's
public
the-
buildings. Can you
It's the
imagine if all
storage.
public buildings?
It's the energy storage that's the hardest
right.
part to deal
Yeah.
with when nighttime.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
Right.
is cool. Well,
So-
we'll have to keep following this to see how it pans out.
See if he
Good
see
idea.
if his
I don't
satellites
trust
work
it.
out.
It's I mean it's
energy
definitely-
through
it's-
microwave. It just sounds like someone's gonna like.
Can you imagine if
Oops,
somebody
I
like,
missed, and there goes a
they, like-
forest.
like
Yeah,
it gets hacked and all the microwave satellites point at the White
Yeah.
House like in one
Thank you.
for
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm sure that's happened in
For security
in some
reasons, I
sort
wanna
of-
say
Don't hate the
that's just-
CIA.
yeah, for legal reasons I have to say that is only hypothetical. I could have chosen, especially in this climate, any other building, but that's just top of mind. Imagine a popcorn factory that just gets freaking
that's
X,
awesome.
just gets
All the
microwaved.
popcorn?
That's more jovial. That was for you, Lando, bringing the mood right back up.
I appreciate you, Owen.
Yeah.
All right. I think that brings us to the end of our episode today, unless there's something else you guys really want to hit on.
I really want to share mine
Okay.
real quick. So in Japan is one of the only 2 places in the world where they used to have whale sharks in their aquarium. A whale shark is the world's largest fish. Not a whale. That is not a fish.
Why isn't it called a fish shark then?
Because they're as big as whales. So
I
whale
like that
sharks,
answer.
there's 2 places. One, actually, there's going to be 3, probably in Dubai. Atlanta Aquarium has one, And then in Japan, they don't have it anymore. They actually replaced it with a robotic, like whale shark. And it's deceptively, its movements are almost real. You have to take a second glance at it while it's moving and be like, wait a minute, it's moving like a fish and everything. No, it's a complete robot. So I was very torn with it. It's like, is this the future of zoos for animal activists and stuff?
I mean, that's what
it can be.
That's what happened in Blade Runner. All the animals are synthetic.
Yeah. So they got rid
except
of
for that owl, maybe.
So my that's my bucket list is actually swimming with a whale shark. So I threw an extra video in for kicks and giggles, but that was I found that very interesting. So that was my quick thing. Just I love whale sharks.
Cool. Really neat looking. It would be Japan, of course. They'd invent something cool like this.
Of course they did.
All right. Thanks for making it to the end of this episode of Geek Show Helpdesk. Before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. Lando, what does Patreon get you?
Boy, Tony, I'm so happy you asked. Patreon is just the best. It's one of those platforms that you can use to support your favorite creators and content people, like us. We assume you like us. You listen to our show, right? So go there and let us know that you like us. For $1 mere a month, right? A McDonald's ice cream cone amount of money a month. You get access to a super secret Discord channel. There's Patreon onlys. I'm actually there now. I respond a lot there. Hey, thanks, Apple. You get access to a super secret Patreon listener only feed that is like unique for you. You get the show early, both shows early, and the in-between show. And the in-between show is really what you want, right? For $1 a month, you get the in-between, and it's great. If you pay $6 or more a month, you get a shout-out on the air, and usually you're going to make Jaron say whatever he wants. But this time, Owen's going to tell us. But before Owen tells us anything you want him to say, we do have a plea. Christmas is coming up, and I want to do something nice for you, dear listeners, especially you Patreon supporters, right? So if you're a Patreon supporter, you can go into Patreon and add your address. Owen's actually going to send you an email with exact instructions how to do it. So if you can get your email address, he is right. We talked about this, guys.
We did. We sort of talked about this.
If you can get your physical address into Patreon before December 10th, let's say, you'll get a special surprise from the Geek Show Helpdesk Arcade people. It's going to be great. Trust me. It's going to be so good. You're going to want it.
Will Robinson.
And if you still want it, you can subscribe right now for $1, and you can get the special Patreon Christmas bonus.
Don't oversell it, Landon.
Yeah. And
no, it's going to be great. I'm really excited for it, actually.
So you'll just let you know I'm going to nag you. I'm going to send at least two emails.
Emails are coming.
And a reminder.
Yeah. Be careful. It will either be on this migration cycle or the next. We don't know which one Lando will be around.
I had ChatGPT. I had ChatGPT write
the email
this
is
for me,
pretty good.
It's pretty good.
In fact, you should send it tonight.
Brother.
All right. Let's read off our super awesome Patreon backers from the $6 tier or higher.
Here we go. So we got some super Patreon tech daddy guys, and they are David Berskinchy, Connor Keesaw, and this is don't blame me. I voted for Kodos. And
yes.
and Aaron Faulkner. Okay, so those guys are fantastic. Let me go through the rest of the list here because I was not prepared with the data, so I have to kind of read them out of order. So
what?
I know.
We talked about it at the beginning. Before we started recording, you said you were doing Patreon.
I mean, hold on. Before we started recording the first time or the second
I was
time?
gonna say.
Because if we're talking about mistakes,
kids, no fighting.
If we're talking about mistakes, I'm going to just mention yours again because it was bigger than mine. Let's see.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Here we go. I don't speak Spanish at all, but I'm going to go. So you're going to get the American version of that one. Okay. So here we go. Jason Eatman. Cuando escucho esta canción, mi corazón canta acids beady bum bum.
You are so good at that.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like
He's been
I
out
feel
in the
like
field a month.
Inglorious Bastards, where he speaks Italian. He's
Oh
like,
yeah.
he's like, I told you, I speak second best.
Gorlami.
Gorlami. We got fingers crossed. Lambo's internet cuts out.
Wow.
There we go. I like that. You know who else
I'm
is
hurt.
a Patreon? My mom.
You know
Be
who
the
that is? They're
8-year-old.
not getting a Christmas present.
No, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not telling you that. Be the 8-year-old. Michael Shane, Tony the Home Theater Geek, Travis Johnson. Buy Geek Show Arcade Help Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George Cade's medical bills. I read that from memory, by the way. I didn't have the cell expanded. Jeremy, No Name Go Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. I also read that one from memory. Hey, it's like I've heard these so many times. The in-between rating +7. You know what? I'll
bad.
take that.
Yeah.
Matt Nelson, DP, Wesley, Adam, Stuart Lloyd. The problem with society is meatballs is tasty. And Ryan. How'd you like that? They weren't in alphabetical order. I feel like Jaren's going to listen to that and hurt himself. Like get hurt. Like I feel like it's going to hurt him.
He'll be all
I hope
right.
so.
He'll be all right.
I know, but like that's what I'm hoping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Like I wanted that to feel like nails inside the chalkboard on a chalkboard inside Jaren's brain. Inside.
He felt it.
Good.
I felt it.
I hope you felt it. Did you feel it?
All right. Thanks for making it to the end, dear listener. We appreciate your download and all your support. Now, before we go, I have to start the music, which I did. Lando, take us out, man.
You know what? It does not help to refresh Google over and over and over again when waiting for election results. Be an end
correct.
user.
Yeah, that's good advice.